Thurmon Lockhart is a professor at ASU School of Biological and Health Systems Engineering, and he's created an app that monitors the way a person moves to determine the risk of that person falling. We spoke to Thurmon Lockhart about the new device, which is called the Lockhart Monitor. Thurmon Lockhart, welcome to Arizona Horizon. Good to have you here.
Well, thanks for having me here.
You bet. I mean, the Lockhart Monitor, a great name. Must be fun to have a monitor named after you. Talk to us about what exactly this does.
Yeah. Well, Lockhart Monitor was first devised for my dad, Mr. Lockhart, so that's why it's Lockhart Monitor. And although he was a very strong guy, I mean, he was a veteran of World War II, but as he got aged and got older, he tended to kind of fall a lot, and what we call a frequent faller. And what happens is, as we get older, we lose our sensory information, like vision, vestibular apparatus, as well as proprioceptive system, all degrade. And also the integration of the sensory information also degrades as well. For example, if you are walking into a dark room, your vision may not play a significant role, but your vestibular and proprioceptive system has to be active. So those are the interplays. And those kind of control systems actually degrade with aging, and as a result of that, these individuals become frequent faller. And what I wanted to do with this app was give it to my dad and just every morning just stand there, measure his gait speed and how he's standing in terms of balancing himself. And then he could just send it to me. And then, at the time he was in Texas, I was in Virginia, so I was able to see, directly within a minute or two, how he was doing. Because one of his problems was, I mean, he would wake up some days, great. But some days, he's got a vertigo or something.
Yes.
So he has good days and bad days, and make sure that we have that bad day measure and such that he doesn't get into an accident.
So when you measure a baseline, and this is an app that would be on your cell phone, your smartphone.
Right.
And so you measure the baseline, and then what? When something doesn't quite seem right, like it warns you somehow?
Yes, right. So we measure their baseline in terms of walking speed and how they stabilize themselves, what we call posture stability. So as you stand, there's a small sway back and forth. And that tells a lot about our balance mechanisms. And using those information, we could tell what's happening overall in terms of our mobility patterns. And if that mobility pattern changes within about one standard deviation, then there's a warning signal comes out and say, hey, something is happening. Let's look further.
So speed and stability, these sorts of things, and you can get a new baseline every day, correct?
Sure you can, yes. Yeah, okay. You could get a baseline every day.
But go ahead.
Yeah, but what you want to do is you want to set a baseline where you are, comfortable, and what you want to do is you don't want to veer too much away from that baseline. That's the key. And if you are away from that baseline, then this kind of a system could tell you and say, hey, something's going on. And as a result of that, and using this type of app, you could actually find out if you're having a gait issue or walking issue.
Yes.
Or if you're having a, balance issue. So we could actually diagnose some of those cases. And then there are appropriate intervention solutions that could enhance those systems.
And now this is an app, so it would be on your phone. Does the phone have to be on all day? Because like at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, if the gate starts doing something crazy, and it's got to be on in order to make that morning, doesn't it?
Yeah, sometimes. Yeah, it would be best to be on, but we also have a module that you could actually test it right there and then.
Oh wow!
And so you don't have to wear it all the time, but it would be nice to get a motion pattern. Daily motion pattern within so that we could tell apart.
How sensitive and accurate is this?
It is a research grade type of device. We have basically within the phone, it's got an IMU device, IMU inertial measurement unit device. It's got accelerometers and gyroscopes and magnetometers. And those things are very, somewhat accurate to a certain extent. And as a result of that, we could actually get a very accurate gait speed And not only that, we could actually get a very nice, accurate stability
Yes.
characteristics of an individual.
Good for smartphones. What about like iWatches? Can you have it like on your wrist?
Yes, yes, yeah. You could have a dongle system on the wrist or chest or in the pocket. So a dongle system is being created.
And reading about this, it sounds like not only just movement and balance and these sorts of things, but you could actually measure other things like depression and isolation because of the lack of movement.
Exactly right. And the mobility pattern has a significant signature associated with the frailty, as well as some type of symptoms related to dizziness, vertigo, or even depression, as well as head injuries.
Yes, yes. And again, this was inspired. This got you. Your dad got you started on this, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, he got me started on that. And I was kind of worried about him. And the only way to really get his information, truthfully, because he would always tell me, I'm doing well.
Of course, of course.
Was through this mechanism. So I was able to kind of, it was really for myself to a certain extent, to kind of feel better
Yes.
about my dad. And it worked out pretty well all the way to the end.
Reaction to the app so far?
I think the researchers are loving it, and the people who are using it I think they like it in a way. But currently, it is only available in iOS format, Apple phone,
Yes.
and now we're developing other types of Android phone devices as well.
Well, this is quite an accomplishment. Thurmon Lockhart, again from ASU School of Biological and Health Systems Engineering. Congratulations on this, a great legacy of your father there. That's a great work for him and for you. I mean, congratulations. It must be very rewarding to do something like this.
Well, thank you very much.